Hey gals and guys, it's Phil Larson, and this is your Motivational High Five on self-doubt. Let's do this. Welcome to maybe the shortest podcast you'll ever listen to. I hope you do join me on a regular basis as we tackle life together. To be honest, we can't do this alone, and we shouldn't do this alone. So I feel really honored that you would invite me into your life to be a voice into your life. And along with that, I can't provide everything you need. So here's my push to tell you to find other voices in your life, voices of truth, people that can offer you some better ways of thinking things through. Also, I can be off, I can be wrong, and I'm willing to admit that. So take what you need and discard the rest. So anyway, on to self-doubt. And I want to ask you to start thinking, do you ever question your true identity? Do you ask yourself, am I truly this person? Where one day, not only do you believe it, but you know it to be true, that this is you, only to find the next day you're questioning it altogether, like you never knew it to be true ever before. Are you doubting yourself? Self-doubt. And one of the clearest examples for me at this point in my life is this very thing that I've invited you on, which is this podcast. In fact, I recorded 7 episodes before even telling anyone remotely, relationally close to me at all about them, even my own wife. And when I started out, it felt right. It felt like my truest self. It felt like me. And then once I started telling some people and showing them and playing them back the shows, they were really positive and encouraging and saying, yeah, this is good. This is you. This is really good stuff. And when that happened, what I found was really interesting. I started to question everything. If I was even really capable of keeping this up. Did my voice even matter? I began to have self-doubt. One time, my wife and I met this couple, and we didn't know them very well, and they were new to the community, and they wanted to get immersed in the community a little better. So we were invited over to their house for dinner. So we went. The wife was beginning to talk about how she was going to try out for this musical audition, and you know, me being a bit of a musician myself, I was really interested to hear more about that. And she talked about, you know, how she was a singer, and she seemed like really confident. I was like, oh, I didn't know you were a singer. That's really interesting to me. And without saying a word, she left. I was like, okay, that's weird. She came back with a case in her hand. She opened the case, and in the case was a microphone, as if to prove to me that she was a singer because she owned a microphone. And she's like, yeah, I'm a singer. And maybe you see this coming, but she didn't get the gig she tried out for. And it wasn't like she was trying out for a national singing competition or anything, but it was more like, can you carry a tune? Then yeah, you can be a part of this team. Something that you would assume someone who says, yeah, I'm a singer would get. Phil, what does that have to do with self-doubt? It sounds like she didn't have self-doubt. Well, I got some hope for you. Self-doubt isn't necessarily a bad thing. In fact, Stephen Pressfield, in this book you need to read called The War of Art, says this about self-doubt. Self-doubt can be an ally. This is because it serves as an indicator of aspiration. It reflects love of something we dream of doing, and desire to do it. If you find yourself asking yourself and your friends, am I really a writer? Am I really an artist? Chances are you are. The counterfeit innovator is wildly self-confident. The real one is scared to death. This war of self that you're experiencing is maybe a good thing. It means at the core, it's who you really are. And to become your wholest and truest self is sometimes the biggest battle we need to fight. Because everything in this world is telling us you are not great, you are not that, you are not worth dreaming for. But guys, you have potential, you have greatness within you. And because you have that is the very reason why possibly you are experiencing this self-doubt. Let it be an indicator of aspiration. And we come now to the end of our show. And at the end of the show, we decide to counteract this life of voices coming at us, telling us that we're not good, that we're not meant to step up, that we are supposed to self-doubt. We need to counter it with a voice of truth, reminding us who we really are at our core. The part that we struggle with believing, but the part that's worth believing if you want good things for your life. So what I encourage you to do is find a reflection of yourself, either now or at some point in the day. Let this be a mantra that you tell yourself that I'm going to ask you to say to yourself. Let this be today's mantra. I can allow self-doubt to push me toward my true self. And guys, your true self being the self that you're doubting, but the self that you want to be, the self that you want to offer down to your children, to your grandchildren, the self that leaves a legacy far bigger than you. And people can tell you this as much as they want. It doesn't truly matter because it starts with you.